This is another episode of the No Secret Agent podcast, where we bring on some of our members as guests to share what they're doing inside of the real estate environment, inside of the real estate community, and overall, they're doing just amazing things. And today, I'm super excited to welcome Robert Peters into the studio. Robert has been an agent within our organization for some time now, has had an amazing trajectory in the business. He's a hockey dad, he's a coach, family man, doing all sorts of awesome things, and I can't wait for you to learn more about him. Robert, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Maybe you can get started by telling our audience a little bit about you, how you got started in real estate, and just how things have been going so far. I mean, we're in a brand new market now.
Yeah, absolutely. So real estate is something that I've always wanted to do. Coming through high school, just something that I just really wanted to do. However, I have a terrible fear of tests.
Okay.
And it's always prevented me from pushing a little bit more, pushing a little bit further. And, I get a test in front of me and the words might as well be in German. I just freeze up and it's always stopped me. Fast forward, kids, when I have kids and you always want to teach your kids to not be afraid to fail and push yourself. So finally made the leap and actually went to a Realty Firm open house.
That's right.
At the old office on Wellington, and just kind of learned a little bit more and just decided to dive in.
Amazing. And so you bet on yourself, right?
I did.
I love that. We had Greg Rains and Aaron Glenn from Prestige, one of our partner companies on. Greg was talking about how, prior to getting into real estate, right at the time, he was offered a package from another career path. He felt that he would regret it if he didn't bet on himself. So he bet on himself, and the rest is history. And I would say that, in many ways, your success has come from that, betting on yourself, taking action, doing the right things. Tell us a little bit about your trajectory in real estate as far as how you got started, what it was like when you started. Was it challenging for you to, start getting business in an all commission-based business? What was that like for you?
Yeah, so I came in just right around COVID, and it was a totally different market.
Oh, yeah.
It was, but it was a different kind of challenge. There was the challenge of being new to the market, not having the client base, and trying to build from that sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I came in and had a great circle of influence that I could really lean on. And really from there, it's just become growing that circle, that sphere of influence, and maintaining those relationships to should basically navigate all the different markets that we're facing, because we've basically seen every type of market since 2021. So
yes, lots of changes, lots of volatility, but you continue to have success. I mean, year after year, your trajectory has increased.
Yeah.
From what I've observed. A lot of people talk about that working by referral, their sphere of influence, their network. For those watching, number one, how do you cultivate yours? What are some of the things that you do to, connect with people that way?
yeah, really, the goal is to be 100% referral based.
Mm-hmm.
Tells you a couple things. Tells you that you're doing the right things, that you can be trusted, that your clients love the work that you're doing for you. So that's always the goal, and that's a majority of my business. I would say it's 85 to 90% of my business is through referral.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's also important for agents to use social media as an avenue as well. We're on the No Secret Agent podcast. It's about not being secret agent.
That's right.
And getting the name out there via that way. So that's also an important part of it, whether it be just, a happy birthday on someone's birthday, or, a comment or a like on, a hockey post,
Yeah.
or, just sold signs, or, market research or market updates. I think all of that plays a big part of it as well.
Sure. So on that note, with hockey, I know this about you, and I'm sure that anybody watching that knows you knows this about you. But maybe for those of you that don't, Robert is an exceptional athlete and also very active in his kids' sports, coaching, the captain of the Realty Firm softball team, which,
Go Furbies.
by the way, has won back-to-back championships, and we look to get at it again. Super active with sports. Obviously, sports are a big part of your life. I want to talk about that in a second. But do you find that, real estate business comes through, volunteer coaching or getting active, yourself?
Um,
And that's not the reason why you do it, but is there a correlation of sorts?
I think what ends up happening, and it happens a lot, is just casual conversations just always pop up. And then eventually down the road, it potentially leads to business.
Sure.
Real estate, probably since 2021, has just been the topic of a lot of conversations. I could go into an arena, I could go into a baseball diamond or, school gym, and, 7 out of 10 times I'm going to get, what's the market? How's the market? How's business? Because I'm not a secret agent.
That's right.
And people know what I do as a profession. So it's definitely very common conversation that pops up with parents, other coaches, referees.
Sure.
It happens all the time.
Now, on the nature or on the subject of sports, I know this about you. You're very competitive, which I love because I am as well. And I believe that there's a direct correlation with being competitive and success. Do you feel that a lot of what you've learned along the way in the art of sport was transferred over to business?
Absolutely. And I think it's sports for youth. I think is where you learn a lot of core values as well. Golf, my kids golf, baseball, soccer, hockey, all of it. I think you're learning different skills that are going to help you later on in life. Competitive is one of them. And I think that there's a way to win. I think there's also a way to lose. And I think that in real estate, there's ways to win and there's ways to lose.
Sure.
And it's also how you deal with it, how you celebrate your wins, how you handle your losses. And I think for me, getting into real estate, one of the things that drew me to it was the competitive nature.
Nice.
And it really motivates me to, be a top producer or, get in the top 10 for the monthlies or the yearlies. Sure. And set really high goals.
The thing that you said about right way to win, right way to lose, I fully agree with. I feel like right now, a lot of agents, and I say this when I coach football too, I don't mind, well, I want to win. I don't mind losing, but I can't stand losing for the wrong reasons. And I feel like there's a lot of real estate agents that have all the potential in the world. They're good people, but they're losing for the wrong reasons. And I do feel that it has a lot to do with not putting themselves out there or, not engaging in training and development or an office environment or reaching out to their sphere. I also feel that communication has really broken down agent to agent over the years.
Yep.
I know that it has even since you've gotten into the business, but do you notice that agents aren't picking up the phone? They're not, calling to negotiate a deal. They're just, text and email and that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually just had this conversation during a negotiation a couple weeks ago where the agent actually said, it's actually nice to have a conversation with someone and not just send an email or a text.
Yes.
I think it's a huge, huge part of it. We are all in competition in one way or another with each other. But I think the successful agents are really the ones that understand that we need each other to get these deals done. And the more we communicate and the more we are doing what's best for our client. And that's the number one thing. We're representing our clients.
Yes.
And the communication isn't just with our client. I truly believe that's with the lenders, the home inspectors, everyone that's part of it. The communication has to be on point. It can't just be a text or an email anymore.
I noticed that you get out and do a lot of agent open houses.
I do.
What's the strategy behind it? Some will say super productive and you're getting to know people. Some will say I wouldn't do it because they don't feel it's productive. What's your take on it?
I think they're highly productive.
Okay.
I think that it's just building relationships.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many good agents that are just great people that I've met during these agent open houses. And it also gives me an opportunity to talk about what I have for my clients. And maybe it leads to something off market.
Sure.
Maybe it gives my clients a competitive edge if, in a casual conversation, well, what do you have upcoming? And it ticks off some boxes for my clients. Hey, could we get in early? Maybe we get a competitive advantage that way. But I truly believe that building relationships with other agents is very important to the longevity for my career and for my clients as well.
Sure. I agree. I think that, even if somebody's not doing the agent open house approach, but communicating with other agents, and I said it earlier, I mean, if you're in a situation where, let's say you're competing and you have the exact same offer, let's just say hypothetically, the exact same offer, it's natural that the agent that that has a little bit of trust in you because you've spoken with them before or can relay information about, the client and things like that, you might have a little bit of a better chance of winning.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Or, we do have a lot of GTA influence right now. There's another example. If you're right there with the GTA agent and you have that relationship, whether it even just be, we've met at an open house, you're going to get a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you are a solid agent, you've done your due diligence and that your client's pre-approved and you explain that as part of your offer presentation to them, those things combined will at least get you a shot at it.
Yes. Goes a long way to just pick up with
100%.
Sure. You mentioned hockey, basketball, baseball, soccer, football, like golf, all these things. I know that you're super committed with your kids
100%.
and coaching them, but also all while having this great rise in the real estate profession. How do you do that? How do you manage that?
Carefully.
Sure.
Time management has always been a strength of mine. I just, if I've got something on the go, time management has just been something that for my whole entire life, for whatever reason, is something I've been good at. So really, it's just looking at schedules, making sure I can commit. But also, I think the biggest thing is it's okay to take time for your family,
Yes.
for your kids. It's okay to say no to clients. I am very upfront with my clients with, hey, I have this, and this week. What works for you? I have said no before, and I find that clients appreciate the honesty. I find that a client will understand their parents 9 times out of 10, unless you're young first-time buyers, that they've been down that road before. So it's just really about time management. I will say it does help living in society right now where, yes, we can pick up a phone and have these conversations, but with email and text, setting up appointments,
Sure.
that kind of stuff really, really helps.
Mm-hmm.
I was just away in a hockey tournament this weekend in Erin, Ontario for my oldest. I drove back and forth.
Been there.
And my youngest, I coach his team, and we had practice on Saturday, so we just decided to drive back forth. But Erin, Ontario has about no reception.
Okay.
And so I had to drive 15, 20 minutes to the top of the hill just to have conversations about walkthroughs. So, luckily we do live in this type of world where we can use our smartphones, and that makes it a lot easier.
Sure. I had a conversation ongoing with people in general, especially those with kids. And whether it's a real estate agent or somebody that is a higher performer in whatever they do, I feel like it's important for parents to show their kids that hard work is okay as well. And in this business, if you're active, you're usually working pretty hard.
Yep.
Do you instill that into the boys?
Absolutely. I mean, they have numerous times said, Dad, like, why you're on your phone so much. Well, I'm working, and I'm not on YouTube, or I'm not playing video games. I think it's important for them to see that I'm always working, and my hope is they pick up on that, and that's instilled in them as they grow old. I mean, we do live in a society right now where YouTube screen time is a big part of it. So I try and limit that as much as possible, hence all the sports as well.
Sure.
I mean, sports for my guys is, they're meeting lots of people, meeting lots of kids, lots of learning lots about themselves, and not being on screens.
Yeah.
So that's a huge win all the way around.
Totally. In terms of 2026, I know you've been active with kids, active inside of this real estate market. What's in store for you in 2026?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's just not letting the foot off the gas. I really believe that what you put into this industry, you take out. So, starting, something I learned from you actually is your business that you're seeing 3-4 months down the road is starting now. So pretty soon you're going to see Bobby Bungalows return, and he'll be out and about in his little elf suit. Trying to huge believer in shop local. So Bobby Bungalows will be around with some shop local stuff, and really all that is going to pay dividends down the road. Spring market, I believe, is going to be busy this year. It feels like everything's pushing back a season right now, and I know I'm certainly busier right now. So just really prepping for that, and then baseball season's coming around the corner again, and our baseball season, hopefully get back on top there.
You got
it. Just really just keeping a foot on the gas.
Well,
You can't take it off.
I fully agree, my man. I fully agree. Where can people find you if they want to learn more about you, whether it's your, clients or the consumer that wants to reach out to you, or a fellow agent that wants to connect with you? Where's the best place to reach you? And we'll post it if we do this.
You can find me on social media, Robert Peters. My number is 519-495-9897. If you have any questions about the industry itself, the brokerage, huge supporter of the Realty Firm. I don't envision myself anywhere else. Love the fact that I'm just going to plug it for a bit here because I truly believe it. I commend you and Sandra. Any single time that I have phoned you guys, I've had an issue. You have returned the call, sometimes both of you within minutes, and you make yourself available for all of us, and I truly appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you. We don't have all of our members connect and contribute the way that you do, and so it's an honor and a privilege to work with you on a number of levels, and of course, develop a friendship along the way.
Absolutely.
Everybody, Robert Peters, who's a prime example of somebody that got into real estate, the tough market, continues to navigate, the market serving and supporting other human beings inside of his brokerage, inside of his kids' lives, inside of his community, and he's doing great things. Be sure to check him out and stay tuned for another episode of the No Secret Agent Podcast.